All right. Hello, viewers and listeners. My name is Fisher Millard, and I'm here to welcome you to a brand new game at the Would Be Heroes Network. This is The End of History, a 7th edition Call of Cthulhu campaign set in 1990s Seattle, Washington, and we're starting right now. But first, a word from our sponsor. Oh, we don't have any sponsors. So if anybody out there would be interested in dropping a sponsorship at the beginning of the show, you can always get in touch with us, and maybe you'll hear about us here.
One moment. D, is the audio being picked up?
Audio is being picked up, yeah.
Huh. I cannot hear it on Twitch.
You cannot?
No?
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you muted?
Okay, maybe
That's
my
all right.
ears are muted.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Well, we are live. You can hear us. With that, let's introduce our players and try to get to know each other a little bit better. First off, my name is Fisher. I'm going to be running this game. And I want to throw out a little icebreaker, basically just kind of how are we connected to H.P. Lovecraft, his writing, and the Call of Cthulhu mythos. I've read a little bit of Lovecraft in my time. I'm a big fan of the style of writing cosmic horror and the Cthulhu mythos, but this is my first time running a Call of Cthulhu game. So this should be an exciting time. Why don't we throw it out to the players there? Anybody want to pick this up? Adam?
Sure. Hi, I'm Adam. You've seen me around. Better known most places on the internet as Soulbot. I have been a fan of the Cthulhu mythos and Lovecraftian world building for a long time. I've never played Call of Cthulhu. I've watched and observed both local games and APs, and always thought it was a really intriguing system. So I'm excited to play in one. But big fan of horror, big fan of spooky, big fan of dark and macabre things, and also a complete and utter child of the 90s crunch. So this setting was like, as soon as I heard what it was, I was like, oh, I'm going to go. I don't care when it is. So I'm excited to see what we got.
All right. Who's next here? Maybe Evan, you want to go?
Sure. I'm Evan. I've read a couple Lovecraft stories. Seen a lot of movies based off of his works. Played some board games. I enjoy it. I like spooky horror stuff. Kind of a creepy dude. I'm playing a FBI agent. His name's Peter Flynn. And haven't played Call of Cthulhu, but I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, excited.
All right. Who's next? D.
Yeah, sure. Hey everyone, I'm Dear Night Wanderer. You know me from this place and other places as well, possibly. I will be playing Leopold Leadfist Leo Cooper, who is a bit a non-standard character for me, as he thinks mostly with the power of his fists. As far as the Cthulhu mythos, all of my experience of Call of Cthulhu and the entirety of the mythos has been fully through osmosis. I have not really read much of Lovecraft stories directly, but I have picked up a lot from wikis and stuff. Love the game, generally love the concept of it. So, yeah, was just excited to get to play a horror game. I love me some horror.
All right. Well, last but not least, John.
Hello, I'm John. Let's see. I am also playing out of type in this campaign, Catholic. I am playing Father Arthur Andrews. And let's see. Hilariously enough, I do not care for H.P. Lovecraft's works. I prefer the things that are inspired by his works. Because he's a wordy little weirdo and doesn't know how to shut up. But yeah, no, I like things like the Bloodborns and Oh, there's other things I'm sure, but yeah. Oh, Sherlock Holmes versus Cthulhu.
Ooh.
Let's see. That terrible sci-fi original Dagon movie.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about watching that actually. I think
it's
Evan
awful.
recommended it to me.
I love that movie. It's Spanish, the Spanish one, right? I don't know if I've seen the sci-fi. Maybe there's
I
one. There's a
don't
Spanish
know.
film. Okay.
Yeah, I saw it once. I was like, wow, Cthulhu sucks.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
and then-
maybe I'll have to watch both of them and
Yeah.
we'll compare.
Yeah.
And then I've also watched a few people play through the Call of Cthulhu game set in Innsmouth, the old PC one.
Well, cool. So a lot of noobs here, a lot of people kind of fresh to Call of Cthulhu, but that's okay. I've done a lot of research, and I think we are in good hands. This is going to be a game a lot more focused on story and narration. I think a lot of us come from a Dungeons and Dragons background, which has a tendency to be, very combat oriented, which Call of Cthulhu is not necessarily. So this should be interesting. But with all of that said, why don't we launch into the game? Seattle, Washington, June 1991. The President of the United States is George Herbert Walker Bush. Apartheid is a really big deal in South Africa right now, and the Berlin Wall fell only a year and a half ago. Right now, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves is the biggest movie in the box office, starring Kevin Costner, a relatively new and hot commodity in Hollywood. And if you were to buy any movies and watch them at home, Laserdisc would be the premium home movie format at this point in time. Some of the biggest bands around are Guns N' Roses. Nirvana just broke onto the scene. And Metallica recently just got a new bass player and toured the whole world on And Justice for All. And rumor is they're in the studio recording their hotly anticipated follow-up right now. Cell phones barely exist. Beepers and pagers are all the rage. We live in a world of interesting technology. The internet is in its nascent stages. And just a fun fact, 2 different volcanoes have already erupted this year by June of 1991. Let's zoom a little bit more in on Seattle. And actually, I do have a little picture that I can share with you guys really fast. Not a lot has changed, I will say, in the 24 years between when this game takes place and when we're playing it. Oh, wrong one. But there you go. There's a picture of the Seattle skyline from the 90s in the chat there. The main thing that has changed is the quality of our cameras.
I was gonna say pollution, but that works too.
that is also true. The pollution was. So let's zoom in a little bit here. We're going to start a couple of days before this adventure kind of kicks into gear. In the weekend before this happens, each of your characters has heard that a friend of theirs by the name of Monica Summers has gone missing. Monica is a high school senior who you all are connected to in some way, except for Agent Peter Flynn, who is just being assigned to this case. But over this weekend, you have all heard that Monica has gone missing, and that on Tuesday, there's going to be like a community gathering to search Bainbridge Island to try to find any trace of her, if something has happened to her, etc. The community, with some help from the police, is going to kind of go over the whole island. So Bainbridge Island is a community, a little bit. It's like a bedroom community about 35 minutes away from Seattle, Washington, where a lot of people live. And actually, at this point in time, it is still known as Winslow. Bainbridge Island itself is largely unincorporated wilderness, and the town of Winslow has just voted to annex the rest of the island, and they are hemming and hawing about whether or not they're going to change the name. But they do just end up changing the name to Bainbridge Island. So why don't we pick up actually with Father Arthur Andrews, who runs, what's the name of the church?
Damn, that's a good question.
That's an interesting name.
Oh, right. The Experience Harvest Church.
Yes, the Experience Harvest Church in Winslow. So why don't we kind of pick up with you? You've heard, I'm not sure who you would have from, or maybe you helped put this together. I was kind of thinking maybe the community would be gathering maybe like in the church parking lot as one of the places where they're getting together to split up into groups and head out. There's everybody has maps with like quadrants on them. It's like, hey, you guys check this area and you guys check this area, and everybody's just going and looking for any sign of Monica Summers. I will also here I'll give you. Oh no, go ahead.
Oh no, just like making sure everyone has safety whistles in case they get lost, so on and so forth. Double checking with folks, making sure everyone knows who their search and buddy is.
There you go. There's a picture of
Headed out hot cocoa
Summers for you.
I know that picture.
Great. So it sounds like, you're kind of helping set things up. You might have like a table, with some, like hot cocoa and some oranges for anybody who wants them, some bottled water. And, people are gathering and getting set up or kind of early in the afternoon and starting to head out, and different people are coming in at different times. There was supposed to be like a set gathering time for everybody to show up. But since you're kind of running everything here, you're not really going out and searching yet. We'll just kind of we'll come back to you in a little bit. Why don't you give us though just a quick description of what the Experience Harvest Church is like? How big is it? What kind of church is it? And then maybe a description of what Father Andrews looks like and what he's wearing.
Yeah. So the Brisbane Island, was that what this place was? Or Winslow?
Bainbridge Island.
Bainbridge. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not a terribly large church because Bainbridge is not a terribly large community. But, it's just kind of like right there in the middle of the neighborhood. The pew that or not the pew, the steeple that overlooks the rest of the island. I'll say it hasn't been like whitewash painted. It kind of just has a natural weathered look to it. And similarly, Father Andrews is equally weathered looking. He's an old man in his early 50s. He is balding. He's a little on the chunkier side. But surprisingly tall. His hair is red with a bit of gray speckled through it. And he's got some just some natural bags under his eyes. Like not he doesn't look like he has been up worrying. It looks like that's just how he kind of always looks.
Well, all right. Well, we'll cut away from that, and we'll actually kind of cut maybe backwards in time a little bit to the day before, and we'll cut to a martial arts dojo. Leo, what is this place called? Did you have a name from Leo's martial arts dojo?
Yes, Leo is a very straightforward band, so the martial arts dojo is called the dojo.
Cool. And as we kind of zoom in on the foggy windows from all of the perspiration inside, we cut through the windows into the inside. There are some people training, and we see Leadfist Leo himself. Why don't you give us a description of your dojo and of Leopold Cooper?
Certainly. The dojo itself is, at this point, it's fully equipped for everything that anyone training martial arts needs, but all of the equipment is very basic and rudimentary. There's no bells and whistles or anything. He's kind of at the point where he is able to convey all of the knowledge that he has from his extensive experience of hitting and getting hit, but not at the point where he can do scanning stuff and the like. if you imagine the what was it, Rocky 4? He's above what Rocky was doing, but below what the Russian was doing. Or was it Rocky 3 or whatever?
It's Rocky 4. Yeah, that's the one.
He is Leo himself. Always goes for practicality when it comes to his dress. So in the dojo, he is just socks, sweatpants, and a tank top. The man is large. He is tall, and he is essentially a building made of bricks. He is muscular. He is. There is a little bit of that, as he's gotten to a point where he is about to enter his 40s. So the muscles are still there. It's all still very much present, but it's kind of like starting to show that little bit of no longer being a young'un. He is not, well, I suppose he is a sight to behold, but he is not pretty to look at. He is balding, which is probably the nicest thing that can be said about him. His nose has been broken multiple times and is bent essentially forms a curve. The one ear has been completely mangled. He's missing a couple of teeth. His face in general has lost any semblance of even the basic symmetry that human faces tend to approximate, as it has been bruised and battered. As he walks around the dojo, there is a limp to his gait, as he... Whoops, sorry, that was not supposed to happen. There is a limp to his gait as he walks around the dojo, observing everyone, very pronounced, as he has stopped his career of competitive fighting due to a injury to his knee, which he's never really fully recovered from. So he's no longer a runner, but he doesn't need to be when he has this heavy a fist.
So this is Monday. Let me make sure I have this. It's Monday, June 3rd, 1991. And let me just give a description of Monica Summers, beautiful high school senior artist, blonde, very promising, had a lot of things going for her. And Monica was one of your students, right, Leo?
Yes, she came for self-defense classes.
Yeah, and she hasn't been coming to classes for a little bit now, so maybe you've kind of wondered where she's gone. But a friend of hers named Becky Hill, and I'm just going to post this one here, one of her best friends, from what you understand, also came to take classes, and she's there on Monday night. And maybe she's talking to some other people, but you hear kind of offhand from her that there's going to be a gathering at the church in Winslow over on Bainbridge Island tomorrow, and that anybody's welcome to come and help out. And so you hear this, and it probably piques your interest. that maybe you want to go do what you can.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I mean, is there anything you want to ask Becky while we're in this zone here, or anything else you want to?
Probably just kind of some general questions as to does anyone know anything, like any information, because she's just kind of stopped coming and she seemed pretty spooked when she was coming. So,
Becky's pretty confused too. She said nobody's seen her since like Saturday. She went out to Seattle and then was supposed to be coming back Saturday night, and nobody's seen her since then. So, yeah, that's kind of all the info that Becky seems to have. She definitely seems worried. The two of them, have been friends for a long time. So,
yeah.
Well, all right. From there, we'll cut over to a dingy bar and music venue. Adam, what's this place called again?
The Garage.
That's right. That's right. It's called the Garage. It's got a shitty sign outside, probably with like one of the neon letters burned out. And as we zoom in, there is a band on stage playing, crazy, noisy, black metal? Is that kind of what we decided your band is?
No, I think he's somewhere between what is becoming grunge and sort of a macabre goth metal. So like there's elements of that, but not like full on black metal. Like it's a little more subdued and gritty.
Gotcha. Yeah. So your performance on stage, and why don't, just for the fun of it, why don't we have a little roll here, just to see how this performance goes? Why don't you give me an art music roll?
That's 22.
Which
under 80, so I'm pretty sure that's success.
That is a hard success, right? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, your show is going pretty well. You guys sound pretty good. Maybe you don't have like a crazy crowd here. It's a Monday night. You take kind of whatever shows you can. But you're definitely bringing the energy, and the people who are here are responding to it. So maybe you sell a couple t-shirts, you get a lot of compliments. And you hear, you're kind of talking to some of your buddies and your bandmates after the show, and your drummer, whose name is Tommy Vargas. He kind of looks like Lenny Kravitz, actually. He's like mixed race, got like a little like mini fro, some piercings.
Attractive.
He is. He's very hot. He's got all kinds of tattoos and stuff. People call him Tommy TV. And he's a wacky character. But you're kind of talking to him, and he's like, "Oh man, did you hear that girl you used to date went missing? What's her name? Monica or whatever?"
No, missing. What?
Yeah, yeah, I guess. Oh, from some people I was hanging out with over on the island. They said that they were expecting to hang out with her, and nobody can get in touch with her, and her parents haven't seen her. So they're doing like a whole community get together to try to like search the island and see if they can find her or something. But yeah, it sounds like she just like disappeared.
No, that's crazy. I just saw her that last week. She was, I mean, to be fair, she was kind of tripping out or something. She was, I don't know, she wanted to score. She wanted to come hang out. We hadn't seen each other in a while. She just showed up out of the blue and looking for a place to stay, and seemed like she wanted something to take the edge off. She was super agitated. I don't know. I told her no, and she kind of flipped out.
And I'll actually say, Trent, this was Saturday. Like she came over Saturday. This was just 3 or 4 days ago. Yeah, so this is very recent for you. Tommy kind of doesn't make anything of it. You know, he's like, oh, crazy, whoa, well, whatever, and then sort of, you know, goes off to like smoke a cigarette, and leaves you in, I'm sure, a perplexed state. Hey, since you did succeed at that art music check, why don't you check the little box next to your art skill? Anytime you succeed in a skill check, you can check that box, and then whenever we eventually get around to downtime, you will be able to potentially upgrade some of those skills. So, you know, just make sure whenever you get a success, and I'll make sure to remind you guys about that.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we'll leave Trent in the dusty darkness of the garage, and we'll cut to another dusty darkness of the inside of an FBI field office. And there's a guy sitting there. Actually, you know what? I realize. What does Trent look like? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, he was busy, so it was hard to, you know. So Trent is 22 years old. He is exactly what you would expect out of a 22-year-old musician in the Northwest in the 90s. Kind of tall, sort of athletic, but not like, it doesn't look like he works out. He's just in decent-ish shape. Very disorganized chaos in the level of his looks. Like, he is very disheveled and sort of unkempt, but seems almost practiced in his unkemptness to the point that it's charming, attractive in that greasy kind of hipster way. Yeah, he's around 6 feet tall. He's got sort of dirty blonde hair that's like medium length, just kind of always, again, sort of like in between bed hair and intentionally messy, and you can't quite tell if it was planned or he just woke up like that and went with it. Never quite clean shaven.
And then from there, we will cut to the inside of an FBI field office where there is a man sitting at a desk going over some paperwork. Evan, why don't you give us a description of Agent Peter Flynn?
Yeah, he's not a tall man. He's pretty short in stature, but he's stocky. He looks pretty fit. He's a field agent, so he's out in the field. And he's got a well-kept short beard, kind of a bushy mustache, dark hair. It's pretty slicked back. Wearing a decently nice suit, black suit with a white shirt and a skinny black tie. He looks like he works a lot. He looks a little run down, like he's a little exhausted. But he's there in the office working away.
Okay. Sorry, I was reading it up. Great. You are sitting in your office, and there's like not even a knock. Your door opens, and your boss walks in. And here, I'll shoot this to you. His name's Agent Rosenfield. He comes in. He's a balding, usually kind of angry guy, and he throws a stack of papers on your desk, and he says, I got something new for you. I know you're kind of in between stuff right now, so new assignment.
What's this? I'll open up the papers and start looking at them.
You're seeing a missing person report. Blonde high school girl named Monica Summers. He's just like, local PD filed this to us because they have to, and we are sort of light on stuff right now, so I figured we'd send somebody out there to participate. I guess there's some kind of community search going on with some involvement from the police department. I'll say, though, they don't seem incredibly attached to being helpful. So, maybe go out and ask some questions, see what you can do. There is the guy I talked to, his name is Mills, Detective Mills. And he seems like he's going to be the guy to get in touch with.
Yeah, I know how those small town PDs can be.
Yeah. Well, good luck, I guess. I'll see you around. I got stuff to do. And he walks out.
All right. I'll grab my pack of cigarettes off the desk and my service pistol and put my harness on, grab my keys and walk out the door.
Well, so all of you, the next day on Tuesday, get together. Well, you don't get together, but you get your things together and head to the Seattle ferry terminal to head over to Bainbridge Island. And in typical fashion, the ferry is late and takes a very long time to show up. Most of you, the gathering was supposed to be at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So regardless of what time you got up and tried to get over there, unless you really left super early to get over to the islands, you end up having to sit there for a little while and wait for the ferry to show up because they're running only one ferry at a time for some reason. And while you're stuck in the terminal, it's possible for some of you to see each other, but none of you really know each other. So it wouldn't really necessarily make sense for you to pick each other out of the crowd. But what do you guys do while you wait for the ferry? Father Andrews is probably setting stuff up over at the church, so we'll get back to him. But does anybody have anything they do while they wait for the ferry?
Not necessarily while we wait for the ferry, but what Leo would have done is when he found out about the search, he would have offered like a free class, like one free class to anyone from the dojo who joined in the search.
Oh, cool. So yeah, you probably do. Maybe you had some people meet up with you in the morning to come over. So you probably have like 2, maybe 3 other people from your gym who decided to come over and help out. Anybody else?
I'm up on the observation deck, staring out into the beautiful sound, thinking about my ex-wife.
So yeah, eventually the ferry does show up. And you get on and get over to the island. And by the time you get over there, it's like 3:30, almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Regardless of if you drove or walked on, you all end up getting to the Experience Harvest Church. Is that correct? Yep. And when you get there, there aren't a lot of people left to gather. It was kind of a sunny day. It started to get a little grayer as the afternoon goes on. It's early June, so we're not really into the thick of summer yet. And as the people who are straggling behind from the ferry show up to gather, there's only maybe like 8 people. And Father Andrews is there, and Father Andrews is talking to a man in a suit with a jacket. He's got like dark hair. Probably got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He's kind of, good looking, but he looks kind of tired. There you go. There's the guy you're talking to, Father Andrews. You know this to be Detective Garrett Mills. And he's kind of been helping to organize some of the stuff with you. It seems like the local PD has been kind of unhelpful in putting this thing together, and Detective Mills has been one of the few police officers who has been there to help you. So as a couple of carfuls or whatever of people straggle into the parking lot, the 2 of you are standing there. And so everybody gets out of their cars and kind of gathers up to the front. And Detective Mills turns to everybody and goes, "Oh, thanks for coming. I take it you guys are all here to help out with searching the island?" And everybody, nods and and says, "All right, well, I want to give a big thanks to Father Andrews here for helping give us a place to set up. We're going to split up the rest of the people here into 2 groups. A lot of the parts of the island to search have already been handed out, so there's only a couple spots left." And he points to Leo and your kind of crew of people. And he goes, would some of you mind breaking off and going with those 2? And, points to like a couple that's there. And maybe the rest of you, if you want to gather with me and Father Andrews, and we'll take my car to the spot that we're going to. And he kind of, reaches out and shakes everybody's hand. So he reaches out and shakes Trent's hand.
He tentatively shakes it like he doesn't want to be here, but he's here.
Yeah, Detective Mills, and then shakes Leo's hand.
Yeah, strong, firm handshake.
Yep, and then he goes to shake Agent Flynn's hand.
I reach out and shake his hand, and then I grab my badge. I'm assuming he doesn't know who I am yet. Special Agent Peter Flynn, you must be Detective Mills.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Hi. I honestly, I wasn't expecting anybody to show up today. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm Detective Mills.
And we're looking for Monica Summers.
Yeah, Monica Summers has been missing since Saturday, and he holds up a picture, the same one I posted in the chat. And he says she's been missing for a couple of days now. Her family's very worried. We're not exactly sure what we're out here to find, but it's always good to do a search just in case. The mandatory 48 hours are up. So honestly, we should have gotten the ball rolling maybe a little bit sooner.
Does she have a history of running off, or is this something unusual?
No. By all accounts, this is very out of character. So yeah, there's we're not really sure. But I appreciate you being here. And again, all of you, this is Father Andrews. Kind of, lets Father Andrews introduce himself.
Yeah, he'll nod and be like, "It's a pleasure to meet you all. If anyone needs any water, we have some bottles over on the table there. We have maps if you're unfamiliar with the area, and flashlights if the search goes on for a bit too long."
And Detective Mills says, "All right, well, I'm just right over there," and he points to a it's like an Explorer or some kind of 4-door truck sort of thing, and he's like, "Go ahead and pile in, and we've got a couple of spots I want to check out." And he, checks in with the other group and kind of gives them the spot that they're supposed to meet at. He's like, "If anybody doesn't find anything, we're all meeting back here." And there's supposed to be pizza or something like that. So, as you all pile into the car, Detective Mills, he kind of expects Agent Flynn to take a shotgun, and then there's room in the back for like 3 people can sit side to side, or there's also probably maybe a third seat all the way in the back, so you can just split up. Doesn't really matter how you're sitting in the car. But he starts kind of talking and showing some things to Agent Flynn. And he shows you the map, and he's like, "So we're going to check some of these areas out here, the farthest out, just some wilderness spots in this map. And then there's also Kiana Lodge. So, we can kind of pick either way, whichever you guys want to go first. If you want to go forest, or if you want to check out the lodge. The lodge is just like... like people do like community events, and companies will like rent it out to do their Christmas parties and stuff like that. It used to be a hotel, but it's like right on the water. So I don't know. What do you think? You're the FBI agent.
Starting near more occupied areas would probably be a good start, I think.
Oh, so the lodge?
I think so.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's usually empty. Oh, go
Sorry,
ahead.
I have a. Do I know of any history of like criminal activity in the area at all? Is it pretty much non-existent?
It's pretty low. Yeah.
So I'd be unfamiliar with the area too, probably. So I don't work in
Yeah.
that area very often.
You've probably never really been out here. I would
Okay.
say. Yeah, the only the big things that you have heard about would kind of be sort of in line with some of the other things that you've heard about of just like like people getting killed by animals out in the wilderness
Okay.
or whatever. It's usually not anything super crazy. So yeah, he's like, all right, we'll check out the lodge first. Does that sound good to everybody? He kind of looks back over his shoulder at the group, and everybody nods, and he's like, all right, we'll head to the lodge. And he's kind of talking about it. That's usually not a lot of people here. Like I said, they just sort of rent it out for like parties and gatherings. So I'm not exactly sure what we're going to find, but and it takes a little bit of time to drive out there from the church, which gives you some time to chat. And as you're driving, a big hit from this era comes on the radio. Policy of Truth by wait, who is that? It's not Duran Duran. It's the other one.
It's
Depeche
Depeche Mode. Yeah.
Yeah, A Policy of
Yeah.
Truth by Depeche Mode was on the radio. But yeah, so there's a little bit of time in the car. If anybody, I don't know if you guys have anything you want to talk about.
I'll lean over the front seat and ask if anyone is friends with Monica or knows her closely.
Oh, she would volunteer at the church every Sunday. She's a good kid.
Not a history of getting in trouble or anything.
He will one moment. Yeah, he'll kind of glance at Adam's character and be like, not so much.
Anyone else?
She was a Girl Scout. She makes Girl Scouts look like bad kids. Oh, phooey, I burnt the darn muffins, that kind of thing.
How well did you know her?
We went to school together.
Did
Bainbridge
you
High.
hang out quite a bit?
Time was. Not so much lately.
Something definitely had her spooked. She started coming to self-defense classes to my dojo.
And when
Yeah,
was
that
this?
seemed like her.
When did we say this was? This is like a couple of months, maybe, or was it just weeks?
Yeah.
A couple of months.
It was a couple of months ago. She came and started taking classes, and then a couple of weeks ago, she stopped.
She picked it up a couple of months ago, and then a few weeks ago she stopped. And then her friend came over and told me she'd been missing.
Last time you started, she seemed spooked at all, or was she acting normally?
I mean, she seemed spooked all the time that she was coming to me. I don't think I've seen her ever as happy as she is in that photo you showed us. She was very
So you guys,
very
go ahead.
adamant about she really wanted to learn. Like, never seen anyone take to the classes that much.
She was a natural.
Yeah, I guess, but also just very motivated for it. Often had to tell her to stop, not to overexert herself.
Did she ever get aggressive with other participants?
No. Not particularly, no. Just your usual bruises that you get from sparring.
I'm scribbling all this down in my notepad.
And eventually, you guys pull into Kiana Lodge. It's one story, but it's a big, almost kind of like an estate. It's got multiple buildings. It's got like a walkway down by the water that's all like cemented, and then some beach area. Like it's a big place where people have like weddings and all different kind of stuff like that. And you guys get out of the car. And Mills is like, well, all right, I guess we'll pick some spots to look here. And
Probably
he's
check
kinda
all the
like,
cabins if they're empty. She might be looking for a place to stay.
yeah, and you guys are looking around, and there don't really seem to be any lights on anywhere, so that would be obvious. But he's like, sure, you want to pick cabins? Anybody else have a spot they want to go? Should we stick together? What do you think?
Oh, just be careful of wild animals. Sometimes they roam into the area.
You get a
So-
A surprising amount.
So you guys, you pick one of the lodges and you go over to the lodge. The door is locked.
I've turned to Detective Mills. Do you know the groundskeeper?
I don't. We probably should have seen if we should get in touch with anybody. I wasn't necessarily expecting to come out here and do this. It was kind of short notice, so I could maybe see if I can get in touch with somebody. If you want, give me a minute. And he kind of starts to head back to the car.
I pull out my giant cell phone. I say he can use this.
Oh, I'll radio. It's all right. I don't even know if I know how to use that thing. And he heads back to the car real quick. What do you guys do?
It's I'm a bit confused. What's the FBI doing involved in this? Is it this big of a deal?
We got a lot of missing person cases, and this one just landed on my desk this morning. I'm not aware if there's anything extraordinary about it. Seems like a standard missing persons case so far, and we're just trying to do our due diligence.
Well, nice to see you guys care about the little guy, or gal.
We try. I think we should maybe split up and check out these cabins, and around the cabins if we see any activity or lights or clothing, anything.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Trent will wander off. He's looking specifically for signs of vagrancy, like if somebody's been holed up in here somewhere using dark corners, broken windows.
Sure. Why don't you give me a spot hidden check?
I'm bad at that. All the drugs. Yeah, no, that's a 67.
That is a failure. Yeah, you don't see anything that jumps out at you. It kind of seems like nobody's been here in, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. Nothing broken. Everything's locked up. You guys kind of check everything, and as you guys are checking the buildings, Mills starts walking back towards you, and he's like, yeah, I got in touch with someone at the office. They're going to call the owner, and hopefully they can get somebody out here, and then we can look inside the building. There's some grounds here, though. In the meantime, maybe we could just walk around the grounds a little bit and see if we see anything.
Like a good plan.
Yeah.
There's there's some garden area type stuff, and then there's down by the beach. You guys want to split up? Who wants to take beach?
Yeah, I'll go to garden. It seems more even. Not so good with going up and down.
I'll go with you.
I guess we'll take the beach then.
Beach it is.
I'll go with these older guys. Why don't you head down to the beach?
Thanks, Officer 5.
So you guys are looking around the garden. Why don't both of you give me some spot hidden check?
Heck yeah. Oh no.
That's,
I rolled a
regular
96
success.
out of 50.
You had a 96 over 50.
Yeah, my spot hidden's a 50.
Okay, well we'll come back to that. What D?
I got a regular success. Got a 55 out of 85.
Okay. So let's talk about the 96 real quick. So depending on your skill, that could have been a fumble. Luckily, you have exactly 50 in your spot hidden. So when you have 50 or over in a skill, you have to roll a 100 to fumble. But if you have less than 50 in a skill, a roll of 96 to 100 becomes a fumble because you're less good at that skill. It's easier to fumble at it. But luckily, you're right at the 50 mark. So no fumbling here. You just failed. But with a success, go ahead and mark that box on spot hidden for that success there, D. You're looking around the garden area, and yeah, it's like I said, it doesn't really look like anybody's been here except maybe a gardener. This is pretty well maintained. There's like this little path that goes all the way around. The only thing that you find are like birds and squirrels and stuff. So Mills is walking with you, but he's definitely sort of a little like bored. He's like, I don't really think we're going to find anything here. Why don't we cut back to Agent Flynn and Trent? You guys head down. There's like a cement wall that kind of blocks off the upper part of the property, and then there's some stairs that head down towards there's like a cement walkway, and then there's a beach. So you guys start walking down those stairs, and as you guys are heading towards the beach, why don't you both give me some spot hidden rolls?
Nope.
I got a 64 and my skill 65.
Hey! All right. And Trent, that was a no?
Yeah, no, I rolled a 31.
Okay, so just so you know, what's your skill in spot hidden?
It's just the base, 25.
25. So just so you know, with a 31, we are using the optional luck rules in this game, where if you want to, you can spend some of your luck to drop your roll down to a success. So if you wanted to, you could spend 6 points of luck to drop your 31 down to a 25, and you could make that success if you wanted to. That is one way you could potentially turn a failure into a success. The other thing that you could do, is you could push your roll, which would mean you kind of need to give me a description of how you're doing things a little bit differently. And then, if you succeed on a push, you succeed. But if you fail on a push, then you get like a more major negative consequence usually. So those are some of the ways you can maybe fix some of your bad rolls. Give me just 1 second. I'll be right back.
Sure. That's good to know. I think in this instance, Trent's not going to push it. He's pretty sure she's not on the island. He's just here to hear what people know more than actually look for her, because I don't think he thinks she's here.
So yeah, Trent, you're kind of like maybe not even really paying a ton of attention. But Agent Flynn, as you're walking down these stairs, you see kind of way over in the distance, there's sort of like a little pier that goes off of the building, and sort of underneath by the pier, there's something under there that's kind of big.
What does it look like?
It kind of looks like it might be a body.
I'm gonna tap Trent on the shoulder and say, "I think I see something over there by the pier. We need to go check that out."
Yeah, all right.
We'll mosey on over.
So yeah, you start walking over, and as you get closer to it, and it becomes clearer in your vision. There's definitely a body that has washed up on the beach here or something. It kind of seems to be what has happened.
It's pretty bloated. The body.
Yeah, I mean, you're not right up on it yet, so you don't really know. But I take it you guys just keep walking closer?
Yeah.
You walk up, and as you keep getting closer, Trent, you start to realize you kind of have this sickening pit in your stomach that the clothes on the body are definitely the clothes that Monica was wearing when she came to visit you on Saturday. Like, she's got the same jacket and the same like jean skirt and her same like combat boots. Like, it's the same clothes. And you get up to the body. She's laying face down. And they're like, she's sort of covered by her jacket a little bit. Trent, why don't you give me a sanity roll?
Sure. That's a 17.
So that's a success. You take no loss of sanity, but this is definitely, this is probably affecting you a little bit here. What do you guys?
I think he would start to move more. Like, at first he was reluctant to go towards the like maybe it's a body because he doesn't like he's nervous in general being around all these cops and stuff, like, and knowing that he was probably the last person to see her. But as he starts to recognize the clothes, I think he will speed up and kind of start rushing towards her, just muttering to himself, just no. She was fine. This can't be. This can't be.
I'm gonna run and try to keep up. If Trey gets super close to the body, I'm gonna try to stop him because I don't want him to contaminate any potential evidence. Yeah,
I'm guessing Trent. You probably. I mean, you probably don't get close enough to like. You don't try to like touch the body or anything. Yeah.
I think he like instinctually was going to, and then realized the implication of like touching the body with the FBI officer there.
You might even like kind of be in that mode, and then Flynn is like, "Hey, don't touch anything."
I kind of grab and like stand in front of him, between him and the body. Like, I need to go get
right.
I need to go get the detective.
All right, Barney Fife. Yeah, okay.
I'll stay with the body. Go get the detective.
Sure. And he will start jogging back towards the garden. Probably shouting just because he doesn't want to have to run all the way over there.
So the three of you in the the two of you and Detective Mills in the garden hear from the distance some shouting, and probably all turn to kind of see what's going on and start heading back that way. And then Trent runs up the stairs to you and tells you what's up.
Hey, they got a body under the pier. I was trying to see who it was, but the suit told me to come get the cop.
Okay, let's get down there. And he very briskly starts. He kind of like pushes past you probably to start heading down to the beach. Flynn, you have a little bit of time here. Do you do anything, or are you just waiting?
I'm just gonna try to make a general observation. I don't really want to touch the body before forensics arrives. do I kind of have a sense of how long the body's been in the water, how long it's been dead?
Why don't you give me if you give me medicine, if you have a medicine skill at all, or first aid, you could also you could do first aid too if you had first aid.
Yeah, I'll do first aid. It's a fail.
Yeah, you're not sure. Definitely, you're pretty sure this body's been in the water, but you're not sure for like any kind of time. And Mills runs up, and everybody's straggling behind. I take it, probably Trent, and then Leo and Father Andrews probably bringing up the rear.
Yeah.
And Detective Mills gets there, and he's like, "Oh man, is this?" He turns to Trent, and he's like, "Is this her? You think it's her?"
I don't know. She's face down, man. He wouldn't let me turn her over. The clothes look familiar.
He goes over, and he's like, all right, and he goes to flip the body over, and when he does, you all like the jacket moves, and he flips the body over, and everybody's there. You can all see this. Actually, real quick, why don't we do this first? Leo and Father Andrews, why don't you both give me sanity rolls just on seeing a corpse? I'm not going to make Agent Flynn roll one just because I kind of feel like as an FBI agent, just a dead body is not enough to make you to have anything.
I rolled a 4.
Yeah,
15.
You are good. 15. All right, everybody is good on the sanity. Dead body is not freaking you out. He rolls the body over. He like, well, no. He like kind of grabs the jacket and rolls the body over, and the jacket moves, and as the body rolls over, see the body does not have a face anymore. Something has like gouged away or eaten away at the face, and also the top of the head and the brain. It seems like something has totally carved out or eaten her face and brain. And that kind of seems, to be it. But just on this kind of horrible mutilation as the body rolls over, everybody give me another sanity roll.
Four.
Damn.
49.
Whoa. Some of you said that at the same time. Let's
We did.
Agent Flynn,
30.
30 under, so you're good.
Yeah, 55. Yeah.
Leo,
40 out of 55, I assume.
all right. Father Andrews,
49 out of 85.
yeah, you guys.
Wow, that's
Unshakable.
Even though,
insane.
well, here's actually what happens. Even though you all passed, you all take 1 point of sanity damage, because this is truly a gruesome and horrifying sight, and not something you were expecting to see. Now, even if you only take 1 point of sanity damage, this manifests in some way physically. Usually you have some kind of minor uncontrollable reaction with just 1 point of sanity being lost. But why don't you all kind of give me a description of what you go through when Mills rolls the body over? And even he like immediately is like, oh God. How do all of you respond?
So Father Andrews probably like starts to cross himself, but like as he sees the faceless and brainless corpse, he just pukes.
Yeah.
think Leo is kind of like flips over and he sees the scene. Just immediate curse words out of his mouth, and he just cusses and just punches the nearest object that he can find. Just like an immediate kind of like rage reaction that just needs immediate release.
Oh, really?
This completely overrides all of his kind of like training.
Well, why don't the nearest thing is like a concrete. Well, maybe it would be the pier. It would be like a wooden. It would be like a wooden post, like a big wooden post. Why don't you give me a fighting check really quick?
That's a regular success.
Okay, go ahead and check the box for the success. Because you have spent so much time punching things, and you're a very hardened guy, even though it is probably a harder punch than you mean to throw at a solid wood log. The only thing you're left with is maybe a little bit of blood on your knuckles from peeling some skin off. You don't break your hand or anything like that. Trent?
I think Trent, again, just yells expletive. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. No offense, Father. And he's like trying to pull out, a cigarette and light it, and he's just like shaking and just sort of losing his shit a little bit.
And Agent Flynn.
I've seen something similar to this before, but he still has a visceral gag reflex that kicks up and it kind of covers his mouth and turns away from the body.
Yeah, you've probably also never seen something that's like maybe so fresh. Mills also he puts his hand up, he backs off. He's like, "Oh man. Okay, I gotta go radio this in. Nobody touch anything. Don't do anything." And he starts to run up the beach to the car, kind of just leaving you all there. What do you guys do while you have some time here alone with the body of who you believe to be Monica Summers?
Is there?
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you.
Oh, go ahead.
No.
I think I pull up my giant phone and call the field office. I'll initiate a conversation with them after everyone else wants to do their thing.
Sure. Yeah. He gets on the phone. Does anybody else do anything?
I wanted to ask if there's anything else that might help towards identifying her. Like, is there anything that
she's got blonde hair. You've
still hair left?
There is still hair left. Yeah. Like the top of the scalp and the face are gone, but there's still a bunch of back hair. Her head is not entirely gone. It's just like something has. It looks like
out. Yeah, it's kind of
or maybe like an animal like ate her from the face or something like that. But her brain is gone. Like it is gone. So
like we can see into the skull.
Yes. There's also, if anybody wants to give me first aid or medicine here.
Sure. I'll do first
sure,
aid.
I'm terrible at those.
Yeah, I'll definitely do first aid.
Yeah, let's see. Where's first? Okay, first aid's 30. That's better than 1.
Yeah.
Never mind, I failed.
35 out of 60 regular success.
Okay, and if you wanted to, you could spend 5 luck and turn that into a hard success, potentially, getting more information out of this roll.
Yeah, no, I'm keeping my luck for now. I think.
Okay. One thing that you notice is, there's definitely some bloating and swelling from being in the water. But the one thing that you notice is on from all the exposed skin you can see, which is not a lot because she's wearing a shirt and a jacket, but you can see that some around the neck and the chest and the arms, there is a lot of bruising, which seems like, I don't know, maybe she fell from like a really tall height or something hit, but it's like all on one side of the body, which
I don't suppose I like, it doesn't look like bruises that would appear from wrestling or punching or something like that. Like, no, it's not a specific type of bruising pattern that I would be familiar with from like having had it myself. It's more like a generalized blunt force trauma kind of thing.
Yeah, and if you do any like poking or prodding, I don't know if you do. No, you don't touch anything. Okay. No. Well, around this time, Mills comes back, and he's like, other squad cars are going to be here in a minute. I need to get everybody. We need to establish a scene. He's got like tape in his hands. He's like, I need to get everybody back. It kind of starts pushing everybody back. He's like, Flynn, if you want to help me, why don't we cut real quick to the conversation you were probably having?
I call Rosenfield.
Yeah, he answers, and he's like, yeah, Rosenfield, what can I do for you?
We found a body. It's pretty gruesome.
Flynn, is this you?
Yes, this is Agent Flynn.
From the missing girl case?
There's no way to identify the body yet, but it's on the Summers case.
All right, well, man, this turns
might be here for a bit longer.
Yeah, well, it's also, I mean, this gets a little complicated jurisdiction-wise, but let's, definitely stay in touch with these guys. Is Mills working out pretty well for you? How's he seem?
He seems to be helpful. He's not pushing back. There's no fights yet.
Okay. All right, good. I just wanted to make sure. All right. Well, let me know anything that changes, I guess. But but we'll get to that when we get there. All right. Have a good evening, I guess.
Understood. I'll hang up.
So, Mills maybe hands you some tape, and he's like, "We'll make a little bit of an area here." Kind of pushes everybody back. Does anybody want to do anything in this time? I mean, the cops are going to show up pretty soon. Otherwise, we'll just kind of push forward. We'll say the cops kind of show up, and it's getting later into the evening now, and at this point, nobody wants anybody to have any kind of access to the body. Nobody wants anybody to see anything. They probably tell you all to leave, and Mills is like, well, I drove him here, so I'm going to need to take everybody back to the church, and that there's some other officers around, all kind of gathering. Does anybody want to have any questions or want to talk to anybody before Mills is basically like, all right, I'll take you all back to the church?
Trent, I think, would have tried to eavesdrop on the FBI agent's phone call, because he still thinks like the FBI showed up. They must know something. Like there's a reason he's here.
Sure. Do you want to give me a listen?
Sure.
And were you trying to be discreet, Flynn, like at all, really? Or
I had walked away and like had my back turned to everybody.
Sure. Just give me the listen roll.
I rolled a 1.
That is a critical success. You heard, the loud music has not damaged your ears. If anything, it's made them sharper. I mean, you hear his whole side of the conversation. And I mean, from what you gather, it's like, it seems to be pretty mundane. He seems to just be here on a missing persons case.
That's comforting in a strange way.
Anybody else?
Actually, Father Andrews would probably approach Agent Flynn. May I borrow your phone for a moment? I would like to call the church and
Have them make sure her parents are comfortable before we return.
There's no positive ID on the body yet. I don't know if we need to alert anybody before ID has been made.
If that's your professional opinion, then I will defer to you. But I do not like keeping people in the dark.
For now, I think it's the best course of action. We don't want to. If Monica's still out there, we don't want to make her parents feel any unnecessary grief.
Mills kind of hears you guys talking. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna get the coroner to check, dental records, and we'll probably have something a little later this evening in terms of actual identification. So, in the meantime, I got to get all of you back to the church, and and then we have some work to do." So he kind of gets everybody to pile back into his Land Rover or Explorer or whatever he has, his cop Jeep.
I have a question.
Yes.
Was the entirety of the brain gone, or was it like were there did it look like something took bites out of it and then at some point went, or was it like completely scooped out?
If there was any brain matter left, it was like ground beef. It was,
Gotcha.
it was like it was. It didn't look like someone took a scooper. Like, it's not clean. It is not a clean.
No, but it's not like there weren't like chunks of it left. It was
No.
Gotcha.
There were just very small pieces
Yeah.
if there's anything left. All right. Well, you guys are all driven back to the church. He turns the radio off on the drive back. He seems he seems very upset. If anybody has any questions or wants to talk to him about anything, feel free. Otherwise, he'll drop you off at the church. And he doesn't really have anything to say to anybody else. He does say thank you to Father Andrews. He's like, we'll be in touch. I'm sure, there's going to be some kind of service soon for somebody, depending on who this is.
I will make sure we are ready. Thank you for all of the effort that you have been providing on behalf of the police department.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I wish I had a little bit more support from some people higher up here. They just kind of dropped this case on me and have not said a whole lot else. But I'm hoping we can clear this up soon. It seems very extreme. I've never really seen anything like that before. I've seen animal attacks, but that's not. It just doesn't seem normal.
Some animals
but anyway,
aren't normal. Could have been rabies.
He'll say goodnight to Father Andrews, and then he'll turn to Agent Flynn. He'll say, I guess I can let you know once the coroner gets back what kind of ID we have. Otherwise, I don't have. I don't know what you need, or if there's anything that I can help you with. Let me know. Are you heading back to Seattle tonight?
I'm going to stay in the area. Depending on what the body turns out to be, I might be here for a minute. If you need me,
Sure.
I'll be at the hotel down the road.
Yeah. That sounds good. I guess maybe I'll drive down to the hotel then and figure out where you're staying if I get the info.
You ever
Otherwise,
seen anything like that?
like that? No. like I
Yep.
said, I've seen people. There's not like a lot of bear activity around here, but every once in a while you get mountain lions or some other bigger animal. But I've never seen anything eat the face and brain of somebody. I've never seen that before. Anyway, have a good night. I gotta get back. And he gets back in his car and kind of waves at anybody who's left and then takes off. Leo, you're the radio went out to everybody, so if there were any other cops who were with people, they have all kind of started to come back and gather to the church. So the people who you came here with have come back. It's getting dark. Or it's starting to. It's summer, so the sun doesn't really go down until about 9 p.m. But it's like maybe 7 now. And you guys, what do you all do? I mean, I know Agent Flynn's going to the hotel, so we'll get back to that. What about the rest of you?
Before Agent Flynn leaves, Father Andrews will stop him and be like,
Should we tell them anything of what we found today, or is everything going to be kept under wraps until a positive ID?
I think it's best not to alert anybody until we know for sure what happened and whose body it is.
All right, I will make sure everybody gets on the ferry home then.
Thank you, Father.
Trent, Leo, what are your guys' plans? Are you just going to head back to Seattle? Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah, I don't think Trent's not ready to accept that that's Monica. And he was originally convinced that she never came back to the island. If he saw her in Seattle and then she was missing, that something must have happened in the city. So I think he's going to try and retrace her steps. And he knows if they had a fight because she was looking to score and he wouldn't hook her out. He probably knows if there was any other person she would go to find something like that, he probably knows who that is. And he would go try and track them down or get them on the phone or something and see if they had seen her that night.
Okay. So, you would know a couple of different people. The people I mean, you could go either direction. You could head back to Seattle, or you do know people here on the island who, in fact, your drummer, Tommy, lives here, and he is kind of one of those guys. Like, if you need to get something, you hit up Tommy, and he's like, "Oh, totally, I can hook you up." So that's one direction you could go. There's also probably some other people, but Tommy also told you about this.
Right.
He's kind of connected to. He's sort of like you, where it's like, you're a little bit outside of high school, but you're still kind of connected into that whole scene of everybody who's partying and going to shows and all that stuff. So.
Yeah. If he had seen her, I think he would have mentioned it when he was telling him that she was missing. But I think he would head back to the city because he's convinced like something went wrong there, and that's where things went out of. So,
Sure.
So
you're getting on
check those.
Getting on the ferry back. What about you, Leo?
I'm first going to check with Father Andrews if there's anything I can do to help here. And then if not, I'm just going to also head back. I think I want to go check if maybe Monica left any possessions or anything in the lockers in the dressing rooms at the dojo.
Okay.
Maybe.
So you're getting on the ferry.
Yeah.
Cool. Getting on the ferry and heading back too. Well, why don't we kind of stick with that scene for a minute as you guys head back? There's actually, you get there just in time back at the ferry terminal where people are like lining up and getting ready to load on. And you're kind of in line together with Trent. So you have an opportunity to, talk to each other, or maybe Trent just like totally goes off and it does not want to talk to anybody. But that's sort of up to you guys as you ride the ferry back. What do you do?
How obviously out of sorts is Trent?
Oh, he's pretty messed up. I mean, you look at him and you kind of would, I imagine, get the sense that he's sort of a party kind of guy, and like you can't quite tell if he's like shaken and out of sorts, or if he just like really wants to get high and is surrounded by cops and priests and shit and just can't mellow out.
Yeah.
But he's visibly uncomfortable for sure.
Leo's gonna like put a heavy hand on his shoulder, not intending to like exert pressure. It's just it's heavy, and he's just gonna say, "You're doing all right there, bud."
Hey, have you seen anything like that before? That was fucking crazy.
Nah, never seen anything like that. No.
What eats somebody's face, and only the face? Like if it was an animal, it would eat the rest of them, right?
You'd think, yeah.
That was her jacket.
Was her clothes, or just her jacket?
I mean, it's hard to tell, but for sure that's her jacket.
And we'll leave it there as the ferry sails back towards the city, and you see all the buildings in the skyline. And we cut back to Agent Peter Flynn as he's heading to the Winslow Overlook Hotel, and he goes up to parks his car and goes up to the front counter. What kind of car do you have? It's like a government issue.
It's like a '90s Crown Vic, beige, super ugly.
Yeah, you park your car and you head in, and there's an older guy sitting behind the hotel. He's got like a newspaper and he's reading his glasses. He's kind of heavier set, and he sort of sees you come in, and he like looks back at his paper, and as you walk up to the counter, he puts his paper down and stands up and kind of adjusts himself. And he's like, "Hey, how you doing? How can I help you?"
I'm doing well. I need a room for the night.
Sure, no problem. And he gets you a key, and I mean, it's well within your spending money or whatever. So
I think I have like a expenditure card or something probably.
Yeah, you're totally fine. He doesn't ask a lot of questions and gives you your key, and he's like, room 3C up on the 3rd floor.
Thank you. I'll go up to my room. I get to my room, I flip open my giant laptop, and I start doing a report, Scully style,
Why don't you give me a I was going to do something for this. You could give me a language check, like an English.
Sure. 56, and my skill is 65.
You start writing a very, perfunctory report. Not anything crazy, but you're just starting to jot down some of the details. And as you're kind of getting ready and writing your report, and maybe go out and smoke on the balcony or whatever, you get buzzed on the phone in your room.
Go answer it.
And it's the guy downstairs. He's like, "Hey, I have a Detective Mills down here. He wants to speak to you. Could I send him up to you, or do you want to come down here?"
I'll be right down. I hang up and close my laptop, put my gun back on, and walk downstairs.
Your fucking gigantic laptop.
Just a briefcase.
It would be so big. Oh man.
They were mostly just really thick. They were like,
yeah,
they were like 2.5 inches thick.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they were like briefcases. Yeah. And you head downstairs, and Detective Mills is down there, and he's smoking a cigarette in the lobby, which the owner does not seem to mind. And You get down
I
there,
see him do
and,
that, and I pull out my own cigarette and light it.
and he looks maybe even a little bit more pale than when you saw him earlier. And he's kind of like shaky a little bit as you head down the stairs towards him. It's like, hey, Agent Flynn, hi.
You don't look so good.
Well, the coroner came back with a positive ID.
It's Monica Summers.
Yeah, it's her body. Yeah, and there we're going to end it there. Actually, episode 1 of the end of history. There you go, the Bainbridge girl. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out and watching today. We're going to cut it off here, and then in a couple of weeks, we will have an episode 2, which should be exciting. So thank you all. Thank you to all of our players. Thank you to the Would Be Heroes Network. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Are we clear?